just fine. We cannot generalize. Just check. Is it already installed or not? Remember how to check?
Yeah.
Our repository manager minus
RPM.
query A, and then check rep for. Then what is it?
The name of the
NTP. All right. So that's the best way. We cannot generalize to say. But if you leave me, I will say who will install it if somebody did not install it. So to find, because it's a server operating system, many people are using it, many administrators. This is the best way to find out. All right.
So do we have to seed it into etc to be able to install this program?
No. To install, you can install from anywhere. It is only when you need to configure the configuration file, to modify the configuration file.
Okay.
And you'll find it in X.
All right.
Right. We just happen to be here because we have been from. All right. Okay. So let's do something more. That was just welcome to the field. Let's do something more. What's the word now? More practical. I can actually test to see if it works. Although your note has the test for this. All right. So let's install another service. To make your, okay, let me show you something. So remember that this is only an SSH into a server in cloud. Let's go to the server in cloud and get the IP address. This is actually the IP address, but you're not used to that. Let's go to cloud. So let's not cloud. Okay. All right. So let's go to our instance and then let's take this server. Let's call this one server 1. Server 1. And then we'll call this server 2. And then we'll get the IP address of server 1. We'll copy that as a public IP address. Right? Go to our browser. Can you see my browser?
Not yet.
Yes.
You see me paste the IP address, right? So if I press enter, so I'm saying go enter this server and grab a web page. Because when I say HTTP, it means a web page. But this server is not a web server, so I'm not going to get results. So how then do I make this server a web server? That's what we're going to do. All right, so this is what a non-web server looks like when you are trying to browse. So they complain to you, or maybe you had a meeting in the morning and you say, okay, we need to set up a web server so that our customers, our clients, our contractors will be able to see these pages every morning instead of us having to email each of them this info, right? You see, that's not a problem. I can do something on the server so that whatever you put there will not be available to everyone through the browser. When we say browser, this is actually what HTTP. All right, let's go and do that. And then by the time we come here, we'll see that we're no longer getting error. We're not able to reach it because it's a web server. Right now, it's not a web server. Okay. So to make that system a web server, we are going to install web service. So we'll go to share. All right. So let's do it. To install web service, what do we do? The service is httpd. So let's find out, is it already installed? So to find out if it's already installed, the command is
RPM
httpd. Right? It's not installed. All right. So let's quickly install.
Excuse me. What is NTP? I'm sorry. I don't know if you have done it before. I don't know.
It's a time server. Network time protocol.
Okay, network time protocol.
Yeah. Thank you. So you can make your server a web server so that all systems connected to that server will be pulling their time from there, their correct timing from your server.
Yeah. Thank you.
If your server is a New York server, all systems connected to that system will be New York time. All right. So
install.
Okay, we're going to install HTTPD, right? So yeah. So the command will be yum install. But since we already root, we'll just do yum install, not to yum install. The name of the package is httpd, and it's going to ask us, should I continue or not? Let's provide the answer right away. All right, httpd is now installed. And just by the installation of the httpd, you already have a web server. That is it. The system is now a web server. But at interview, you say you don't know httpd and how to install it. It's like you don't know anything. How can you not know? Meanwhile, the practice is just one. That's it. It's done. As a matter of fact, let's go back and so.
Could we check if it's enabled?
I'm trying to share my screen. Share screen. Okay, I see my screen now. Yeah. All right. So just by the installation of HTTPD, our Linux server has become a web server. All right. So if we browse here, we should be able to connect through that port and show us whatever it is. Anyway, the reason it's not connecting now, we'll do that in cloud, but I'll just enable HTTP now. So we'll go to instance, we'll go to that particular server, and then we'll go to the security. That particular server, I'll go to security, then we'll go to security group, and we'll say, please allow HTTP to be able to come into this server. So allow HTTP. In fact, let me just allow traffic so that I don't get all right, from everywhere, from anywhere, everywhere, anywhere. All right. So since HTTP port is no longer being blocked and access is now given from the internet to this server, let us see. Okay. We have not restarted the service. We just installed it, but we have not restarted.
I was
so
about to say that. And you need to enable.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go on. All right. So now that give me 1 second. And now that we've installed, what's the next thing to do?
System start httpd.
All right. So after installation, what's the next thing? Let's use the manual.
Start it.
What about the configuration file? Let's look for the configuration file.
Okay.
All right. So we're already in SC, ls -la. Too long. What do we do?
ls.
You want to grab for something particular?
ls-ltr. Then you grab the name of the HTTP.
Okay. So let's look for ls LTR. Then not everything. Grab for httpd, right? Yeah. So yes, that is installed, or specifically for HT ending with anything but the configuration file. Is that what you want? Config. I'm not sure. Okay, so httpd on. Is it not there? What are we? Config. Okay, let's look for it. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not common, but like we always say, that's why it's hard to generalize. This particular case, the httpd file is somewhere else, not directly here. All right. So the configuration file is not directly here. So where is this configuration file? It's actually in this place. Can you see that? That's where it is. So let's go into that. Does not make sense because that's what we're looking for. That's a directory, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So let's go into that because that's the closest thing to what we're looking for. We have searched all these other ones. They are not there. So you are not seeing much.
So right. It looks like it doesn't have. It looks like it doesn't have the .conf where it was listed there.
Yeah, we'll find it inside here. So let's go into httpd. All right. So we're inside httpd now, right? Okay. So we're looking for our configuration file ls-la. This is conf, but in this place is a directory. So let's go into it. cd conf. All right. ls-la. So this is what we were looking for. This is where it is hidden. So let's vi into it and see vi into httpd.com. All right. This is the configuration file. Now, the idea is not for us to come here and begin to learn configuration file. No. I'm just telling you that this is the configuration. All right. You see that most of the configuration file is not so hard to edit because it explains itself. It tells you this is this, this is this. If you want to do this, this is what to do. Yeah, you read everything.